Hey guys, it is I, the Comixkid2099. I haven't done a video in the last few days because I've been working on something really huge that will be coming to this channel later next week. So when you notice that you've seen fewer videos from me over the course of the next few days, just remember that there is an awesome reason why. I haven't been reading or watching much lately, but I did recently watch the newest and I believe the final trailer for the Man of Steel movie that will be coming out later this year. And watching this brought to mind something that I've hated for quite some time now, and so I wanted to rant about it a little bit. The internet has, I think, ruined the way we see movies, and the way movies are brought to us. I remember back when I saw the second X-Men film in theaters, and I knew next to nothing about that film. I think I may have seen a trailer for it, maybe, but mostly I knew that this film would involve the same characters that the final film had, and that Nightcrawler was going to be in it. That's what I knew about it. I'm not really sure when this fundamental change happened, but you just wouldn't be able to have that in today's world. There have been 3 trailers for Iron Man 3, 3 trailers for the new Star Trek film, and at least 3 trailers for the Man of Steel, if you count the 15-second teaser footage thing that aired before The Dark Knight Rises. My big question is, at which point did this become the norm? Why do we need 3 trailers for a film before we go and see the film? I guess when I was even younger, before X2 that is, on the occasions when my family would go to see a movie, it occurred to me then that the trailers that you would see at the theater were much longer than what you would see on the television. So maybe it's been a thing longer than I thought. But I'm pretty sure we didn't have 3 different trailers for 101 Dalmatians before the film finally arrived, right? I try to avoid watching all of the trailers for a movie because after you've seen 3 trailers, at least for me, I tend to feel like I've already seen too much of the film, and that it won't be as much of a fresh experience for me when I go see the film. Sometimes a trailer can make me excited for a movie. I didn't really care about Iron Man 3 at all until I saw the first trailer, but it's very telling that the first trailer was something like half a year ago. I really shouldn't have even seen that trailer until a month before Iron Man 3 hit theaters, right? I don't want to get so excited for a movie that all I can think about is that movie until I go and see it, especially if I hit that level of euphoria 6 months before the movie comes out. So in a way, I think the reason these companies think that they need so many trailers is because they're afraid that they will lose their audience if they don't remind us that, yes, this movie is coming out, and yes, you were excited, and we will make you excited once again. So then that begs the question, why do they start putting trailers out so early? I think that this is what really needs to be discerned. While the internet existed when I was younger, it was not the monstrosity that it is now. We didn't have a YouTube, we didn't have the instant gratification of seeing a trailer less than 24 hours after it was available in theaters. I think that's what's changed. The internet has become something that has turned us as a society into impatient people. In 1999, you just had to accept that the trailer would be available before some movie a few months before the movie you wanted to see, and then you could see a truncated version of the trailer on television. Now that we've grown so impatient, thanks to YouTube making access to these trailers easier, I think the studios have picked up on this, and so they want to ramp up the excitement for us. But herein lies the problem, at least for me. Remember, I don't want to see 3 different trailers for Iron Man 3 because then I'm afraid that I've seen too much of the film and I won't be as excited for it when I go and see it in theaters. So even though YouTube and the internet as a whole has made us more impatient, at least that's my thesis and I'm sticking with it, why do the studios try to make this worse? What do the studios gain from putting out the first trailer half a year before the movie even comes out? I assume that it has something to do with merchandise, which really doesn't affect me. Unless The Dark Knight Rises puts something of its brand on Diet Mountain Dew, which is a product I already buy, then I don't really buy much merchandise for movies. But I'm thinking the reason we have this absurd overload of trailers so long before the movie comes out is that because the studios feel like they can make more money this way. That's their motivation behind everything they do, really. If they put out a Man of Steel teaser for the trailer, and it's literally a full year before the movie even comes out, then they can get people to go and buy the Dr. Pepper with Superman on the box, or something like that. Which, that is kind of a disappointing realization for the end of this whole rant. I guess you could say that I can keep ignoring the second, third, fourth, and 15th trailers that come out for these movies, but this becomes problematic, once again, thanks to the internet. Most of my time spent on the internet is spent in the circles of people with similar interests to me. This is something that is really awesome on the one hand, as 10 years ago, I was the only person that I knew who liked to read X-Men. Now, with the click of a button, I can find hundreds of people who like the same shows I like the same movies I like, and read the same comics that I like. So that's a blessing there. But then again, it's also a curse. Because these same people, they don't have the hang-ups of multiple trailers that I do. If I want to avoid seeing the Star Trek trailer, I really also have to avoid all of these people who I am connected with online. That means I stop following the YouTubers who do news and often talk about these trailers, and I should go ahead and stop talking to the people on Facebook who like to discuss and post these trailers. And some of these worthless scumbags think that it's okay to spoil things that we who want to remain spoiler-free don't want to hear. And this is where things get shady and hard for a guy like me. If I don't like cell phones and how they change the way people live their lives, I can at least handle that by not getting a cell phone for myself and leading by example, as little good as that will do me in any case. But I can't really take the same approach to avoiding trailers, since that would mean fundamentally also changing who I interact with in this glorious land that is the internet, the haven of pop culture enthusiasm. It's a conundrum, and one that I don't think will ever change unless everyone, and I mean everyone, stops watching these trailers and giving the YouTube videos 3 million views in an hour. And it won't stop unless the studios stop cranking these things out like Octomom cranks out her kids. Anyway, that's a really depressing note for me to end this rant video on. But mostly, this is something that was on my mind, and I wanted to have some venue to get it off of my mind, and I also wanted to put up a video so that the few people who await with bated breath for my videos can have something to occupy their time for a few minutes. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll be back in a few days with some other kind of video. See you then.